Parks and Cultural. Okay. The Recreation, Parks and Cultural Affairs Council Committee, Wednesday, October 11th, 2023. And we'll start with the roll call. We have Ms. Nicole Ayers, Ms. Lisa Shanahan, Mr. Josh Goldstein, and I am present, and absent are Mr. Kites. Do not see Mr. Meek and Ms. McMurray. Can I have acceptance of the July 12th, 2023 minutes? Motion to move it, okay. I'm gonna move on to public participation. Do we have any? Is there anyone here, Ms. Nelson, that you want to speak to any of the items, or you have something to speak about?
I'm here concerning the permit and permission to use Calf Pasture Park.
Okay, so we'll get to that. Okay.
Yeah, when you get to that,
Okay. Thank you. There is no old business, new business. The City of Norwalk reserves the right to cancel the event for public health or safety reasons as determined by the City of Norwalk in its sole discretion. The City of Norwalk shall not be liable for damages arising from the cancellation of the event. Item 5.1, approve the use of Taylor Farm and immediate surrounding grounds by the Greenwich Kennel Club for their Paws by the Sea Dog Show event to be held from Thursday, June 6, 2024 to Sunday, June 9, 2024 from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Setup time Tuesday, June 4th, 2024 at 12 p.m. to Wednesday, June 5th, 2024 at 5 p.m. with tear down on Sunday, June 9th, 2024 at 3 p.m. Approximately 500 people. Would someone move the item? Thank you, Ms. Shanahan. And who do we have here? Is that Ms. Nelson?
Ms.
Yes.
Nelson?
I'm here. This is a reoccurring event. We've had the opportunity to expand from 2 days to 4 days, which should be beneficial for us. As you know, the cost of the equipment we rent, primarily the tents, has increased exponentially. And we're hoping by having 4 days that we will be in a better position financially. We're a not-for-profit, and our proceeds are given primarily to dog-centric charities.
Okay. Do we have any questions for Ms. Nelson? All in favor? Okay, thank you. Ms. Ayers, thank you. Unanimous. Thank you, Ms. Nelson, and I hope the 4 days really works out for you. Actually, I'm sorry, I didn't ask Robert or Ken if they had any comments.
We've approved them to extend the dates for their financial, to make it more financially feasible. And we're still working out some logistics in terms of, kind of trying to separate the show from people who use the park, because we don't close the park, but we're logistically working with Ken, and we'll work with the people to make sure that our users still can use the park without a lot of issues. So we're working on that, but yeah, we extended the date, and we're negotiating some of the financial terms. So yeah, we approve it.
I should add that an average dog show competitor for a 2-day show brings about $865 of revenue to the city that's hosting. So by going to 4 days, we're talking about, I'm just going to round it to $1,500 per competitor. So it's good for our community also. And I'm a Norwalk resident, so I think this is we're one of the last still outdoor shows in the East Coast. So it's attractive for our competitors as well as the city.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
You too. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. 5.2, approve the use of Taylor Farm and immediate surrounding grounds by the Friends of Norwalk Dogs for their Halloween dog costume romp event to be held on Sunday, October 22nd, 2023 from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Setup time at 10:30 a.m. with tear down by 4:30 p.m. approximately 50 people.
We have Catherine.
Would someone move the item, please? Thank you, Ms. Shanahan. Oh, Ken, we're gonna speak to this?
Yeah, that's Catherine Snydecker. She should be, she was the speaker. Do you see her at all on the? Okay.
Is it?
Well, this
No.
is an event, a Halloween event that's put on by this organization that formed. We've been talking to them about issues with dogs, and they have formed to be an advocate for Norwalk dogs. And so they're having they've applied like anyone else would for a permit in the park to have an event. And so we will require insurance and all the other particulars as we do for everyone else. We don't see a problem with having this event.
Ken, did you want to say something? Oh. Okay. All right, anybody, any questions? All right. And you said, Robert, that these were the folks, some of the folks that you met along the way or talked to within the city?
Yeah, I've been talking to these are people that have grouped themselves together. A few people have come to me about advocating for dogs. And I've basically said, hey, as you need to get together, because I'm not going to be listening to like one person or another person or another person. So they formed a group, and I think they've already have over 100 people in their group. They're a nonprofit now, and this first event they're throwing, and they're going to advocate for more fundraisers to help us put items for dogs in the park. And there's some things that we need improvements on, and they've made a proposal to help us fund some of those improvements. So yeah. This
I met
is
with
a
them
side,
last week,
this is
Robert, and it seems like they've got some really good ideas and that you've been really helpful to them. So I think this is pretty good, exciting organization. And
yeah.
I look forward to some more of their events. So I'm glad that they're heading into this season with a good event coming up.
Yeah, thank you.
And I think kudos to you, Robert, for hearing them and moving this and pushing this idea and getting them organized in a way that will be helpful to the city. So any more comments or questions? All in favor? Thank you. Unanimous. 5-3, authorize the mayor, Harry W. Rilling, to extend the contract with Norwalk Community Sailing for 3 additional years per section I-2 of lease agreement dated October 12, 2021, and to add a rowing component to the existing contract. Someone move the item. Thank you, Ms. Shanahan.
I'll let Ken handle this. He was having some difficulties getting on. I think these
Wi-Fi and hotels, yeah.
Yeah, Wi-Fi hotels, yeah, they can be difficult.
Yeah.
So he's on now, so he's gonna handle this one.
Yeah, good evening. Yeah, the hotel Wi-Fi wasn't happy. So Sergio's here on behalf of the sailing school. A few years ago, the city of Norwalk entered into a contract. As you know, the old owner of Norwalk Sailing School moved on. Luckily, we were able to find a new tenant for that space to offer the same valuable programming that the previous owner did. So we're excited to have Norwalk Sailing School back in business. And they do want to add a bit of a rowing component, as we touched on at our last meeting. So Sergio will explain a little bit more on that. And also, we're going to ask you to approve a contract extension for 3 years, which is outlined in the terms of the original contract that was negotiated with the city. So Sergio, you on?
You're muted, Sergio. You're muted.
You're muted.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. I just, there was kind of noise in the background. Didn't want to disturb when you were dealing with other things. So yeah, thank you for having us. So yeah, I mean, we basically, that's our 3rd year basically in here. We started just working as a continuation of what Bruce had been doing for all kind of these years. We just felt that it would be very, very sad to lose the school, but we always have had more of an idea, not just of working as a sailing school for, the usual people that have been doing camps, and I think lots of kids in Norwalk have, but also we've been trying to expand services to basically some of the undeserved kind of or less protected kind of kids. So we have this year already been giving kind of grants, so having kind of kids in most kind of sessions that have come from low-income families that had the access for free to the camp. One of our ideas is to basically get those kids, and the more we can, the better, into using the sound and using the beach and learning kind of to sail. I think is very important for them to respect it. And we've got a lot of people. I mean, I'm Hispanic myself, and you know that for a lot of Hispanic people, the sea and stuff is not kind of all that, you know, familiar. So that's part of what we're kind of trying to do. And of course, we have to do that with being kind of sustainable financially. So one of the things, with all the cost of insurance and everything, one of the things that we had thought is adding rowing to it. We have a coach from kind of rowing that is very interested in using our facilities kind of there with us. And we think that could bring the benefit of bringing another activity to the beach. It would help us as a kind of sailing school, and also because they do a lot of outreach on kind of the high schools and the public schools, that will also facilitate things more than the kind of more close or selective clubs that we have now in rowing. I mean, you all know that there's kind of things there. So we would like to be able to explore that and to offer rowing as another service from our facilities, from our installations. And that's something that wasn't initially on the first kind of contract, because at the time we didn't know. We knew that we wanted to grow, but we didn't know how far we could get. So that would be what we are trying to do. So we would like authorization to add a rowing kind of section to the sailing school that could be basically launching from our facilities and could be using our facilities to be part of our operations, like the sailing camp and the sailing school and the rentals that we're doing now. So just adding one more activity.
Any questions for Mr. Serrano? Okay.
I have a couple questions. So do
Okay.
you imagine that this is ultimately going to be something where you're going to be able to get the kids to a level where they can be competitive in rowing? This is shell rowing, right? Like 1s, 4s, 8s.
Yes. So let's see. The coach basically is trains for competition now. So we want to have a two-prong approach, the same like with sailing. So with sailing, we're also working on, hopefully from next year, start getting a bit more of a competitive team. But we think we don't want to alienate our initial approach is to bring it to as many kids and as many people as we can. But then that will lead kind of naturally. Some people are just going to want to explore and maybe going to go out for a little bit. Some others more competitive. So we're open, yes, to competing both in the rowing and in the sailing.
That's great. Thank you.
Sergio, what do your numbers look like in each of your areas right now?
Sorry?
With students, with participants? Are you doing anything now, or is this the beginning of something?
So, well, no, we haven't kind of started yet. I mean, last year we started kind of having kids do the camp for free. We had a total of kind of 8 kids. Our goal is to try to get anywhere between 20 and 40 next year. And then after that, we also want to start a program. We're looking from some kind of funding for that, to start a program in which we can get teams again from, you know, less represented communities and train them not just to learn to sail, but to become potentially coaches in kind of sailing, so I can have more of a long-term kind of job there, and potentially, explore more of a career in this field if they want. Is a way to try to get these kids there. So as of now, we have started kind of very small. We also, with kind of time and everything, we didn't have the time to do it through more kind of formal channels. Like my intention this year, I'm going to be taking care of that, but I'm going to try to reach out to the education department basically and see if we can get some form of collaboration so that they provide us with those kids a little bit. And how they do it is a bit different, but we wanted to make it as democratic a little bit as it can be when it comes to getting those undeserved kind of kids. And then from the rowing perspective in particular, the coach has basically a very ample experience, a kind of a big reputation. And yeah, we're hoping that we're also going to be along the same line. So just introduce a small number of kids just for free, granted, and then obviously things grow, we'll try to get more and more. But we don't have, I mean, this last season we've had kind of 8 kids that came up to be kind of under the radar. And for next year, if we can, our goal is to try to get anywhere between 2 and 4 kids per camp session, because also that will give them the opportunity to be with all the more kind of wealthy kids. If it isn't spending, you know, a whole week that they're all day together doing kind of all these things, and I think it's positive in many aspects, not just in the sailing, the fact that they can interact with kids that they may live half a mile apart from each other, but otherwise they're not going to have contact. And it's important in the community that we know each other.
Thank you.
I think in addition, Darlene, I think, you know, one of the things I'm trying to create is an evaluation process. So with the mayor's dashboard, so we can have more metrics to evaluate our programs, how good they're doing, what the numbers are. And so we'll be probably working with Sergio and his group to develop some kind of evaluation, so we can at least metrics, so they can report the metrics to us on a monthly basis in terms of what their participation rates are.
Thank you. All right. If we don't have any other questions, all in favor? All right, it's unanimous. Thank you, Sergio.
Okay, there's sorry, Nodra at the last, so Nodra, the president, at the last minute asked me if I could kind of bring 2 more kind of subjects. They're more like kind of broad, but if there was possible, is it not?
No.
Okay,
Just
Yeah,
contact
we'll-
me via email. Have
Yeah.
her contact me via email.
Yeah.
okay,
And we'll
Alright.
put them on next time.
yeah, no problem. We'll do this.
Thank you.
Okay,
All
thank you
right.
very much.
Motion to adjourn. Was that you, Lisa? Thank you. I'm sorry, guys, that this took so long, you know.
That's okay. That's
No.
okay. That's okay. I'm sorry that we, you know, that we weren't.
Things happen when you guys go away, so you know what that
Well,
means.
we were at the
Stay
conference.
on
We
the conference day,
just
no
got back,
more.
yeah. But it was a good conference. It was a good conference, and you know, Vanessa went. She learned a lot.
Yeah,
Maybe some of you guys can go. That's on the park committee. The next one's in Atlanta. I think you learn a lot about what parks are doing all over the country.
great.
My ex-boss had left. He got voted into the chairman of the NRPA. So he's the national chairman now. The one that left Seattle
Yeah,
after I left. So we've got some contacts there. So he's over the whole thing. So it might help us with accreditation. I finally got Ken. I finally caught up with him today. So yeah. So he might be able to help us with accreditation
Great,
too. So.
great. So it sounds like it was worth it.
It was
So
a good conference.
good.
Yeah, good conference. Yeah.
All right.
Have a good night.
Have a good night.
Travels back home. Bye.